Grade. Happy Friday. Hope you guys are doing well. Your word today is rife. You got this. Hit pause. You got this. All right, the ocean is rife with life. So let's just take that structure, plug in a random word. Mr. O is crazy. Mr. O is smelly. Mr. O is purple. Mr. O is late. When you have is followed after the word is, usually the next word is describing something, right? So the ocean, which is a noun, is rife, right? Rife is describing the ocean. So again, we use that technique to help us figure out part of speech. So what do you think it might mean? I mean, look at this picture. There's a lot of fish, so the ocean is teeming with life. The ocean is filled with life. It's full. Let's see if that makes sense in any of the other sentences. After leaving food out for a week, the kitchen was filled with cockroaches. Gross. Yuck. So rife means like overflowing with. All right. First thing I want to do today is I want to talk about this poem. This poem plays a pretty important role in the book. If you remember when it first comes up, Ponyboy reads, he doesn't read it, he recites this poem from memory to Johnny when they are at the church in Windrixville. So what I want you to do, I want you to read one line, I'll read one line. All right, we'll go back and forth. So I'm going to start. Nothing gold can stay by Robert Frost. Nature's first green is gold. Her early leaf's a flower. Then leaf subsides to leaf. So dawn goes down to day. Awesome. So I want to take some time and talk about this poem because I want us to consider and think about what the life lesson of this story is. Like, there are obviously a lot of life lessons, but really, what is this book trying to teach us? So let's look at this poem really quick. Nature's first green is gold. I think this is so awesome that we're reading this book right now and talking about this poem because it's spring right now. So think about this. What might be nature's first green? I mean, look at the trees outside. Some of them are still dead, but a lot of them are starting to bloom, right? They're starting to blossom, shoot out their first flowers or their first leaves. So nature's first green, that those first leaves are gold. Let me ask you this, are they gold? Well, not a lot of them. A lot of them are green or they're red, but not very many of the first leaves are actually gold colored. But what else is gold? Gold isn't just a color, it's also money, right? It's something that's valuable. So if the very first sprout is gold, okay, let's keep thinking about what this poem's all about. Her hardest hue to hold. Do you know what a hue is? A hue is a color. So the hardest color for nature to hold is that first color, that first leaf, that first sprout. That early leaf is a flower. My friends, when you go to the store and you buy flowers, I mean, are you buying the leaves? You know what I mean? Like, think about it. What's the really, the part of a plant that is worth money? It's beautiful. You're not worried about the stems or the roots. No. You go to the store and you buy roses. You don't buy them for the roots. You buy them for the flowers. So her early leaf is a flower, but only for an hour. Because what's going to happen to that flower? What always happens to these flowers? Leaf subsides to leaf. What happens to all these leaves in the fall time? They die. All those beautiful golden sprouts, we know that eventually they're going to die. Just like Eden, which sank to grief. Just how dawn goes down to day. Just like the end of the day, the sun goes down. Nothing gold can stay. So what's this poem trying to tell us? Nothing gold can stay. Go back to the very beginning. Nature's first green is gold. What's going to eventually happen to those leaves, those early leaves? They're going to sink to grief, just like Eden, right? They're going to set, kind of like the sun. I mean, we know that the world is in a cycle. So all this new growth is eventually going to die. And we know it's going to be reborn. Interesting. What might that tell us about the book? What might that teach us? Well, let's see what Johnny thought, because Johnny talks to Ponyboy about this in the letter. So Johnny says, Ponyboy, I asked the nurse to give you this book so you could finish it. The doctor came in a while ago, but I knew anyway. I kept getting tireder and tireder. Listen, I don't mind dying now. It's worth it. It's worth saving those kids. Their lives are worth more than mine. They have more to live for. Some of their parents came by to thank me, and I knew it was worth it. Tell Dally it's worth it. I'm just going to miss you guys. I've been thinking about it, and that poem, that guy that wrote it, he meant you're gold when you're a kid, like green. When you're a kid, everything's new, dawn. It's just when you get used to everything that it's day. Like the way you dig sunsets, Pony, that's gold. Keep it that way. It's a good way to be. I want you to tell Dally to look at one. He'll probably think you're crazy, but ask for me. I don't think he's ever really seen a sunset. And don't be so bugged over being a greaser. You still have a lot of time to make yourself be what you want to be. There's still a lot of good in the world. Tell Dally. I don't think he knows. Your buddy, Johnny. So here we have Johnny's interpretation of the poem. And so he takes this poem and he compares it to his own life. When you're a kid, right, that's what's gold. Being a kid is what's golden. Right, just like the new leaf, the new buds on the trees. So maybe it seems like growing up is that, nothing gold can stay. So Johnny reads it as being a child is what is gold. Just like the way that Ponyboy looks and enjoys sunsets. And he sees the beauty in them. And he's not thinking about, I guess, adult things. Anywho, up for interpretation, certainly. Okay, so I want to stop talking because I want to give you a chance to work on your essay. I don't want to take any more of your time, okay? And what I want you to ask yourself is, what might this book be trying to teach you about fighting? Right? What might this book be trying to teach you about prejudice? Prejudice is where you prejudge someone. You see someone and you make assumptions about them. What might this book be trying to teach us about family? What might this book be trying to teach us about what it means to be a true friend? What might this book be trying to teach us about sunsets? Not actually sunsets, right? But sunsets show up again and again. It seems kind of important. What's this book trying to teach us? So the question I'm going to ask you today is, what is the most important theme of the book? Okay. Now, I'm going to give you credit for each step of your essay, making a strong thesis statement to answer the question, making sure you have a quote that's written the right way, and introducing the quote and explaining what it means. At this point, I'm going to go to Google Classroom and pull up the assignment, which is on here on the screen. It's also in classwork. But I want to show this to you, okay? So here again is the question, what's the most important theme of The Outsiders, okay? When you write your thesis, go ahead and write it here. When you're done, writing your thesis, if you want to, hit backspace and have the, move the context up. If you want to get rid of the word context and get rid of the word thesis after you write them out, that's totally fine, okay? But the one thing I really want to show you is I picked a bunch of quotes in the book that I think would be very helpful for writing an essay, okay? So I think these are really important parts of the book. So the first thing that I would do is I would read through these quotes, okay? And then I'd ask yourself again, really, what is the most important life lesson of this book? Right? What is this book trying to teach us? I would write down what the book is trying to teach you, and then I would write the quote. Okay? Now, I mean, save yourself some time and copy and paste, but what you don't want to do is you don't want to copy and paste this entire quote, right? If you wanted to use this one from chapter 7, like, don't paste the entire quote. Only paste the part of the quote that you need, right? If you want to just keep, Cherry saying things are rough all over, then just keep that, all right? Try not to have a quote that's longer than maybe 2 sentences, okay? Try to have this essay finished for Monday. Do your best. I want to spend Monday's class actually working on these, actually revising them. Okay, so please try to turn them in by Monday. All right. And again, first thing I would do, read through these quotes, pick the perfect quote, and then go back and introduce the quote, and then explain how the quote proves your thesis. Hit turn in when you're done. Show me what you can do. You got this. Love you guys.